Another episode of Wave 3 Radio, another beautiful Thursday. We got Latin award-winning music star Magali Delarosa coming in to talk about her projects, what she got going on, and to talk a little bit about herself. So Magali, for the people who don't know who you are, just explain to the people who Magali is.
First, thank you so much for having me. I've been excited for like weeks to do this interview. Hi, everybody. My name is Magali Delarosa. I am an RGB native. I am a singer. I am an actress, and I'm also a fashion designer.
Dang, that's crazy. How'd you get into like doing all that?
Ooh. I grew up in a very like artistic home. My dad was a musician, and my parents really never put limits on me. I was like this wild child that was always painting on things, and my grandmother was a seamstress, so I just absorbed all of that. And when I hit a certain age, I'm like, okay, I want to be a singer. I want to make clothes. I want to do this. And I never stopped since I was little.
That's crazy. You just pretty much been following your dreams since a kid then, huh?
Definitely. I knew exactly what I've always wanted to do, and I never steered away from that path.
That's great. You said your dad was did music as well?
Yes, he was a bass player in a group called Grupo Fuego. It was a Tejano group back in the late 80s. They had a couple of hits. And he actually writes my music still to this day. Wow. He is like very involved in the business. We're always in the studio together, always songwriting. He taught me everything I know about music and songwriting.
That's crazy. So you come from a long lineage of like creators and musicians. That's crazy. That's crazy. So any projects you got coming up?
We have a lot of projects coming up. Right now, we're promoting my new music video, Mujer Mexicana. Guys, if you haven't seen it, you need to check it out. We put so much work into this video. It's like a novela, okay? It really is. And right now, it's almost at 80K.
Wow.
So we're promoting that. And it's the title song for the album, Mujer Mexicana, which we just put out as well. It's on all digital platforms. And we're excited. We sent it into the Grammys this year. So we're really like, really praying. And everybody send us good vibes. Hopefully that goes well. And it's my 5th studio album. So I've been putting out music for a while now.
That's crazy. So from like doing music for so long to finally getting those hits that are going, you know, getting traction, it must feel really good, you know, like all the hard work you've been putting in and stuff.
It does, but I can't like process it yet. Like I'll get a phone call from my dad. He's like, oh my God, it's at 50K. Or my last single, Muero por tu amor, instantly within the 5 days hit over 100,000 views on YouTube.
That's crazy.
And I couldn't process it. I was like, I still can't process it. I think I'll probably have a moment when I'm maybe on vacation, which is very rare, where everything will just like
kind of settle in. Yeah. And what's that like? Like how different is your schedule now since you have music that's already getting traction? You're a lot busier now, I'm assuming?
Oh my gosh, yes. So busy because now I decided last fall that I want to do acting and I want to do it professionally. So I auditioned for an agency in Austin, Entourage Agency, what's up?
Shout out.
And I got in, and so they've been sending me on commercials and print work, and I'm doing the music stuff. So it's like when I'm not doing something like a performance, I'm sending in a commercial, I'm doing this. So it's like, it's literally like this.
Juggling. And then aside from all that, you have kids, you have juggling, being a mom and stuff.
I have 2 daughters around the same age. One is 9, one is 10. And then I have 2 nephews and a newborn niece. She's 6 months, but she's newborn to me. And I feel like they're all my kids. So I do have a big family.
Must be busy. How do you handle like those stressful times? Like
I go in the bathroom and I scream. No, I'm just kidding. It's just I just have to keep my mind busy and not really think about it. You know, it's like, well, I'm like patting one of my babies on the back. I'm over here like making a phone call or like, luckily they're older and they're very patient and they know. Like sometimes my daughters will help me with my auditions. They'll be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, and go. And of course I compensate them for that. This is not child labor. I'm like, here's some money for this, or I'll buy you something. Just be cool, be patient. And you know what? I think they're going to end up following the same footsteps.
That's good. So I'm sure like a lot of that work ethic you got came from like seeing your dad traveling and doing tours and being from one city to the other, I'm assuming. So
yeah, definitely. He was always has been like a go-getter as well, like a businessman. And I think everyone in my family is like has that hustler mentality. And I think that's a very good thing to do. You know, if you're not even just for if you're a singer, but you should always have like a backup plan. plan.
Yeah.
Like, I knew I wanted to do music, but my parents were like, listen, we'll support you, but you need to have a backup plan.
Yeah.
So I got a degree in fashion.
Wow.
So I had that as my backup plan, but it also sustained my music and paying rent and paying bills and stuff, and still does to this day.
What did you use that fashion degree for?
Just making my own clothes and putting them out there.
Wow,
I had the opportunity. I was living in LA for a little while. I made a dress. Everybody knows who Lil Mama is, the rapper, right?
Yeah.
So I was doing background for was it America's Best Dance Crew? I think it was. She was a judge on one of those shows.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to make a dress, and I snuck it in to one of the security guards and said, please, can you just hand it to her backstage?
Yeah.
And he did, and she wore it the following week on the show.
Wow.
So it was super exciting. So
That's
I've
crazy.
had some fun moments in fashion, and it's been great.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Imagine like just creating a dress and then the next week you got Lil Mama on national TV.
She wore it on TV.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
she ended up buying a few more pieces from me, and I did like a music video for her as well. So it was really cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it was really cool.
That's crazy. So I was reading somewhere you're from like here and Brownsville, or like,
Well,
or from far in Brownsville?
I'm from far. My dad was born and raised in Brownsville, so
Okay.
I spent a lot of time in both places.
I got
We
you.
have family in Brownsville. My husband's from Brownsville, and
Okay.
my band mostly is from that area.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
yeah. Shout out, guys.
Shout out. Where does a lot of your inspiration for your music come from? I know you said your dad helps you out, but is there any somebody you've always looked up to that's always like been there, like, hey, I want to follow in your footsteps?
Definitely. I mean, the Queen, Selena, of
Yeah,
course. Like,
there you go.
she was the first person that I could identify with as a child, her and like Thalia watching like novelas on TV.
Yeah.
But I had the opportunity when I was 9 to sing No Me Queda Más for like a tribute to Selena.
Wow.
And it changed my life.
Really?
There was like so many people there. They had like the local news stations because she had just passed,
Yeah.
And I knew then, I'm like, okay, this is it. This is what I want to do.
Is there artists that people or like critics compare you to, or?
Definitely. I mean, I have gotten a lot of comparisons to Selena, actually.
Yeah.
And some of them have not been in a good way. Like, oh, you're trying to be the next.
Wow.
Or, not a lot of comments, but some here and there.
It's a little bit of negativity coming from it.
And I know a lot of the women in the Tejano business, they deal with that as well. The comparisons, but on the negative side.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how can you not be inspired by somebody so wonderful? It's not that you're trying to be that person, but you can't help who you are, where you're from, what kind of music you grew up with. It's all the same,
Yeah.
And so I think when you're little, of course, you want to be like your idols. Oh my God, I want to be like, Madonna or like Shakira or whoever. But you get to a certain point when you're older that you find your own path and your own identity.
That's true. That's true. A lot of people grow up wanting to be something when they're younger and then end up wanting to do something totally different once they get old. So
Definitely.
for sure. If you could give some advice to 12-year-old Magali, what advice would you give her?
I would say pay attention more in school. Don't miss school as much as you did. And I tell my daughter the same thing, She's always like, I don't feel well. I'm like, go to school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would say maybe just study a little harder.
Okay.
I felt like distracted by like the music and stuff like that, which is fun and which is nice.
Yeah.
But to everybody out there, not just my 12-year-old self, education, the more you know.
Yeah, for sure. I had another question for you. Let me see. Yeah, so any, we talked about your projects. You said you had an event going on this weekend?
Yes, so we're going to be super excited for this show. We're going to be doing an event called Noche Tejana in Houston, Texas at the House of Blues.
Oh, nice.
I'm super excited because I'm going to be alongside Destiny Navaida, who's another Tejano artist. She was nominated last year for a Grammy. So
Wow.
exciting. And she's the niece of Emilio Navaida, who is, a pioneer in our business.
That's crazy.
And another artist, a young up-and-coming artist named Madison Pulido. So excited to be there with the ladies. It's all ladies. It's an all-ladies event. So I'm very excited. I customized an outfit. It's blue, a 2-piece blue glitter outfit for the House of Blues, play on words.
There you go.
And then the following weekend, I'm doing 2 back-to-back performances, an acoustic set on Saturday the 29th for the Fantastic Films Festival. I'm going to be a judge and doing my set.
Nice.
And then Friday the 28th, I'm going to be with my band at 8 p.m., guys, performing at the Mixlan Festival and at the McAllen Convention Center.
Nice. Cool. Well, guys, besides that, I think I pretty much talked about everything I wanted to cover. Anything else you want to leave the audience before we leave?
I just want to say thank you for having me, for giving the artists a platform to come on here and talk about ourselves. Just kidding.
For sure.
I also just want to say thank you to all the fans who have been supporting and messaging and commenting and sharing. I see all your comments and your messages. I love you so much. You guys have no idea how much it means to me, really. God bless you always. Find your path. Stay true to yourself. Dream big. And I love you. God bless.
There you go. Thank you guys. Tune in next week, next Thursday, 8:30 p.m. for another episode of Wave 3 Radio. Appreciate you guys tuning in. See you next week.
Bye.
We're going to end the show with Mujer Mexicana.
We're going to end the show with Mujer Mexicana. So if you guys are tuning in on the radio, make sure you listen in. Everybody on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, stick around for a little bit. We're going to play some music for you guys. Thank you. Good. Yay.
We're still on video.
Okay.
But
Okay, now it's time for us to rap. No, I'm just kidding. Let's throw down on some rap.
Get a picture.
Definitely.